Hello, everybody. Listening to the Fair Weather Podcast. It's your boy 2K Suave. I'm here with A-Rod A. Smith. How about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys, man?
Listen, I have no room to talk, but keep in mind, we weren't even supposed to be in the playoffs. You know, we went into the season, everyone thought we were going to win 5-6 games. Rookie quarterback, rookie head, well, technically a rookie quarterback, but he's a second year. Rookie head coach, rookie everything. Bunch of youngsters. Rookie wide receiver. It was a young bunch. But the Cowboy fans going into this year, all I kept hearing, how about we them boys? We win the Super Bowl. We going 15-2. We doing all. I heard it all. And y'all, welcome to Cancun. Welcome to Cancun. We kept the water warm for you. We kept it warm. We really did. You know, it's ready. How about the boys?
We pissed in that pool for you boys already. So come on in.
We kept it warm with a little bit of, Oh, listen, no offense. We had to join. Y'all kept it warm for us. And then we kept it 3 hours warm for the boys over in Dallas. How you lose at home? How you lose that? How you do all this work just to get bounced in the first round once again?
And they ran into that stadium. They ran in like you thought it was a sneaker day.
Y'all was kicking down doors like there was a new release of some cement fours or something, just to get your ass beat by Debo. Y'all got y'all chain took by Debo. y'all let Jimmy G look like for a while look like Tom Brady, and then he resorted back to Jimmy G later in the game. But yeah, how about the Cowboys?
How about them, man? How about them? So the backgrounds are definitely themed to them boys, because y'all still ain't them boys. God bless.
I mean, I don't know how much room I have to talk, but at least I knew my expectations was make the playoffs, lose in the first round. I said it. I said, look, we're gonna go 8-9, 9-8, and then we're gonna have to play the Bucks or the Rams to get our ass beat. That's kind of, I knew where I was headed. But y'all Cowboy fans, the Lord have mercy.
All right, let's go rundown. So we'll open up the show. We're gonna do just playoff talk, recap of what happened. We'll talk about the wild card round, the dominant teams in it. We'll give the Cowboys a shout out because they're still not them boys. Bad officiating, and then losing teams with bright futures and dark futures as well of those losing teams. We'll preview the NFL Divisional Round, the AFC and the NFC, and the QBs that are the most under pressure. And then we'll do some NBA talk, buy and sell, where I'll ask KK if he's buying and selling on certain things and see what he says. And then for our fun segment, we're going to give you our all-star lineup since next week, Thursday, correct, is the final or the end of voting and the starters.
So the 22nd is the final day of voting, which is only a couple of days from now. And then they'll release the roster next week, Thursday. So.
Yeah, so that'll be our fun segment. So let's go right into the wild card round. We got to see some boring games, some exciting games, some games we just wanted to happen, like the Cowboys losing. We also said on the show that that's going to be the toughest matchup of the day. Will probably be that one, or the most exciting one to watch is that. So we kind of predicted that one. But a lot of dominant teams out there. The Bills, Bucks, Chiefs, Rams stand out the most. And once again, what is Arizona missing? I think I've been saying it all year. It's the youth. The youth definitely played in right when they got to the playoffs. So you were first all year. The last 4 weeks, you kind of came crashing down to earth. And then when it came to playoffs.
It was more than the last 4 weeks. It was because they were 10. Well, yeah. They were 10. They were 7-0. Then they were 10-2. And then I don't know what the hell happened.
They were pretty dominant all season, and then they came crashing down to earth towards the end. However, 5-6 games, whatever, they came crashing down to earth. But youth definitely played there. Nobody thought the Patriots were going to get their cookies took that bad, man. Like I knew that bad.
Right before the game started, if you go look at my, I have receipts. Right before the game started, I was like, I got the Bills in a blowout. It's on my Twitter. It's on my Twitter. Y'all go check it out.
All right.
I had when I looked at the weather, and it wasn't blizzard cold. It was cold, but it wasn't a blizzard. It wasn't snowing. It was just a nice cold day in Buffalo. I was like, oh, this is a blowout. And I could just see the body language of the Buffalo Bills. And I was like, Mac Jones ain't ready for this. I
Yeah.
know Alabama's one thing and college is one thing, but Mac, they had like Julio. Josh Allen's been there before. He's already gotten his ass beat. He's already experienced heartbreak in the playoffs. Mac
Yeah.
Jones, yeah, I was like, yeah, I got him in a blowout. It was, and we've been high on Bill Belichick and the Patriots all year, but I don't know, something felt off right before the game started. I was like, it's going to be a blowout.
Like Beanie, you could feel it in the air, man.
Like BDC.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't expect that coming. I don't expect Bill to get blown out like that, but I mean, Josh Allen had a career game in the playoffs, so you can write that
Against
one in.
Bill Belichick for that matter.
Yeah, exactly.
You
But
can say that. Nick Foles.
who thought? Bucks and Chiefs, we kind of expected those ones, Sorry to your Eagles, but I mean, everything you predicted happened. So I got to give you that, Mr. Philadelphia Nostradamus, on your predictions there.
Listen,
So
man, I'll keep it real with Philly real quick. Obviously, I've had a tough couple of days. I went to an Eagles bar to watch the game on Sunday, and it was a bad idea because there was just dejection all over the place. And I would have preferred to just be alone in my own space and cried alone, but it was dejection all over the place. It was sad. I thought would give him a little bit more of a fight, but you got to understand Jalen Hurts, his first ever playoff start against the GOAT Tom Brady, against the defending champs, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, on the road. It was going to be a tall task regardless, man. It was going to be tough. I didn't think it was going to be that bad, but it was Tom Brady. And, early on, I felt like the referees gave Tom Brady a good whistle, but that's not the reason why we lost. I think we needed some kind of momentum in that first drive or second drive or something, and we just kept getting on our own way. And it was tough. It was definitely tough. But you lick your wounds. You got 3 first-round draft picks, 3 of them all in the team. So I ain't stressing it too much.
you can't. I mean, playoffs and you got 3 first-round picks, so you really can't be that mad by that.
And Jalen didn't look as bad as Kyler Murray to me, so I'd much rather be in Jalen Hurts' shoes right now.
Yeah, I'll give you that. So of these 4 teams we just said, Bills, Bucks, Chiefs, Rams, going into the next round, which one looks very more scary to you? Would you say
between those 4? I mean, they all look hella good.
They are, but we got tough matchups. I mean, Buffalo's going to have to play Kansas City,
which sucks. It's so happening so early.
And then Tampa Bay is going to have to play the Rams. So basically, all those teams that we just mentioned, they're going to be playing each other.
Yeah. So who looked the best, or who I think is going to be the best moving forward?
I mean, who looked the best? I mean, it's a no-brainer. The Bills look the best of them.
Yeah, the Bills looked the best this past weekend. Yeah, for sure.
But going into it, all 4 of those teams are very dominant in the games that they played.
Yeah.
Going into the next round, they all play each other. Which one should be scared the most of each other, would you say?
They all have. To me, it's all equal fear because you got to keep in mind both teams have already played each other this year, right? So week 3, it was Bucks versus Rams in LA, and the Rams took it to them. They took it to Tom Brady. Tom Brady doesn't forget. Tom Brady does not forget none of those losses. So they broke Gronk's ribs in that game. I think Robert Woods had like 15 targets or something like that. He's not playing, obviously. Cooper Kupp had over 100 yards. The Bucks are not going to take that lightly. They're not going to just act like that didn't happen. And then on the flip note, the Bills beat up on. I wouldn't say beat up on the Chiefs, but they did beat the Chiefs in the regular season. So, my rule of thumb is if you lost someone in the regular season, you're probably going to beat them in the playoffs because they showed you all their hand and you probably didn't show them enough. So there's like another gear that you can flip to. So if you're the losing team, I'd be more fearful of the team. If you're the winning team, I'll be more fearful of the team that you beat in the regular season. So to me, the Bucks have a slight upper hand because they're at home, and the Chiefs have a slight upper hand because they're at home as well.
I agree as well. I think they're going to be both tough matches, and just like you said about Kansas City and Buffalo, Buffalo went all in. They brought the pain that game, but something about playoff Mahomes is different. And we've been scared all year of Kansas City. I mean, I've been like trying to like go back and forth on it, but I still
Yeah.
stuck by my guns and saying they're going to the Super Bowl, and I still think they will. Um, but the Rams and the Bucks one is probably the most intriguing one of them all because I think we both had the Rams and the Bucks going, or we're pretty high on both teams going into the season.
Yeah, of
So
course. I mean, he had to be.
this could have easily been the championship game for the NFC. Um, if things didn't work out in Green Bay with all the noise buzzing around the beginning of the season. But look at us looking like fools thinking that, Aaron Rodgers is like unhappy when he's living his best life out there in Cheeseland.
I think he's driven by like chaos. A lot of
Yeah,
players, Michael Jordan was like that. I feel like
people
LeBron's like that. A lot of players are just driven by chaos.
the best thing is some people like to see the world burn. And
Yeah,
I think he's that type of person.
yeah.
At the end of the day, he's a football player. He's not a politician. He's not a spokesperson for whatever, except for State Farm. He'll
And
probably
Joe Rogan
Joe Rogan, yeah, and the Pat McAfee show.
and
But
Pat
like,
McAfee.
but other than that, like he's a football player, and you just have to appreciate the sport that he plays and what he does. But I think the Tampa Bay Rams one, um, the most dominant one, it's gonna come down. It's gonna come down to all of these defenses. I feel like it's gonna be the defenses on all of these teams. To
So
be
who's the
honest,
best defense out of the four?
yeah. If it's me, I'm going Rams for sure.
You
I'm
think
going with the
so?
Rams. Yeah,
You
I
know
would.
who you were high on all year was Buffalo.
Hmm?
You convinced me for like
Coming around.
13 weeks. They were the best. I mean, we had them on fantasy for the longest time, but you convinced me for
Adam.
13 weeks they're the best defense in the league.
Yeah, no, I mean on paper they look good, but there's parts of the struggle. It's just like the consistency with them. Like you have you have a good front line with the Rams, and you have one person that should strike fear in you right away in Aaron Donald. And then in the secondary, if you beat Jalen Ramsey, it's going to be a 1 yard pass to Devontae Adams. That's the only way you're going to beat him. Really, it's hard to get past.
I don't know.
He's still one of the
Well,
number
he's
one.
still the best corner to me, but
Yeah, but it's hard to beat him. And if you do, bless your soul for beating him. But I mean, when we look at the Bucks defense, they stepped up, but it was against the Eagles. No offense, but they also let up some big plays.
Hey.
I'm just being real. Man. I'm trying
I'm
to be
kidding.
real.
I'm kidding.
But all I'm saying is like the secondary is still shaky. Yeah, they had some big plays and some takeaways, but they're going to get their takeaways only for the fact that the secondary sucks. So we're going to throw all day. So it's just like common logic to me.
The way I see it, there's a secret sauce, and it's not that much of a secret when playing against Tom Brady. I thought we'd be able to do it, but we couldn't do it because our offensive line was holding up. Now we'll see what happens with Tristan Wirfs, and we'll see what happens with Ryan Jensen. I think Tristan Wirfs is a little worse off than Ryan Jensen's injury. But if the front four, again, Von Miller, Aaron Donald, Floyd, like all these boys, if they're able to get to Tom and make him uncomfortable, that is the only way you can beat any Tom Brady led team. You got to make him uncomfortable. Like at the end of the day, we did sack him 3 or 4 times. Like we were, and all on third down. So it's not like they're unstoppable. Like the Eagles are a young team, so I didn't expect us to play amazing. Okay, now the Rams, they have veterans. They went and gave up a second and a third for Von Miller. Von Miller has been making plays these last few weeks. I'd be scared because you know why? You have to double team Aaron Donald, especially if Tristan Wirfs and Ryan Jensen are banged up or can't play at all. The secret sauce: get to Tom Brady, and drop everybody back into coverage. Because you know what Tom's going to want to do? He's going to dump it off to Gio Bernard. He's going to jump it off to Vaughn. He's going to dump it off to Gronk for the quick 7 yards. Mike Evans, quick hitch routes. Like it's simple. It's a simple offense. But he has so many. He's so 20 years of playing football in a professional level. He's seen every coverage, so he knows what you want to do. But you have to make him uncomfortable. You have to give him weird, exotic looks, and you got to put him on his ass. You got to, like I said, I remember I said it in the last game. I'm like, I hope we get a roughing the pass on the first drive of the game. Well, we did. And it's the same thing. Aaron Donald needs to he needs to get to him, put him on his ass, lay on top of him, and be like, hey, remember this. I'm going to see you again in a couple plays. That's what they need
Yeah.
to do. They need to strike some kind of fear, which is hard to say, fear in Tom Brady's head, but they need to put some type of fear in Tom Brady's head. He got to see some ghosts.
I truly don't think Tom Brady sees any ghosts. And if he heard that from Aaron Donald, he'd be like, "Hey, remember that Super Bowl? Remember that, bro? I got you right here." It's gonna be those are some pretty tough games because I think both of those games have where people predicted to be the AFC and the NFC championship right there. So they're just one step ahead. So I'm excited to see both of those games. I'm a lost for it.
That first matchup.
I feel like that the Tampa Bay Rams game will be more defensive based, and I feel like Kansas City Buffalo is going to be more tailored around offense.
Well, yeah, Buffalo Kansas City is going to be an explosion. I hope so. That's going to be a fun one. But that first week 3 game that they played, Tom Brady threw the ball 55 times and had 432 yards. 106 of them to Mike Evans, 74 to Chris Godwin. Now, Chris Godwin's not playing, but if Mike Evans got 8 catches for 106 yards, then I mean, I don't know what the coverage is going to be. I don't know how they're going to play it because Jalen Ramsey is not always guarding the best receiver. I feel like they do their zones and their matchups how they want to do it, but we'll see. But Gronk to me is going to be an X factor, and then the running backs for both teams are going to be X factor because who would have thought Cam Akers would just come back and just light it up. And I picked him up in fantasy. I'm like, if this dude can come back from an ACL injury, I was hoping we didn't need him, but I was like, we might need him for one last week.
It doesn't matter. He's a winner. He's a winner in our books. He didn't have to do anything. He just
he got a ring. He got a ring with us. But bro, he tore his Achilles in July. And he had what 90 something total yards or
95 total yards.
95 total yards in his first game back. That's scary, bro. That's good. In a playoff game like that, that's scary.
You know what's funny about the Rams is like Darrell Henderson has completely been phased back to like 2 duties now.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be there.
Like,
Sony Michel looks good too.
Sonny, where he get these knees from, man? That's all we need to know.
They don't exist, but he's still playing.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, to the other game, the Chiefs and the Bills. You know what? Running back. Look, I hate when I don't listen to my gut and tweet out what I'm thinking. But Jerick McKinnon, I was watching that last game against the Broncos, and I was like, what C.J. Anderson did for the Rams a couple years back when Todd Gurley got hurt, and it came in out of nowhere. It was just he was carrying the load for the Rams off of his couch. I was like, yo, Jerick McKinnon is going to be the most important player for the Chiefs if they're going to make another Super Bowl run because he has fresh legs. He's only 28 or 29. He's still young, and he looks healthy. And all those other guys have been banged up. He's just been chilling. He's ready. And I'm like, his first game in the playoffs after a good game against the Broncos, I'm like, oh, they got something here. So now they got some speed in the backfield again. We don't know what's going to happen with Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Williams for next week, but they got Jerick McKinnon. They got that Gore kid. So now they have a lot of running backs to look at, just like the Bucs have a lot of running backs. The Rams have a lot of running backs. The Bills have a few running backs. So crazy enough, even though it's not specifically running the ball, I always say to win in January, you need good running backs and a good defense. So that's what it's going to come down to.
And when Jerick McKinnon is your number 3 back, it's insane because if you think a couple of years ago, the 49ers paid big bucks for him. Yeah. And all he did was tear his ACL. So
that sucks.
It's a
you're right.
Good comeback story for him though. So I'm proud to see him. I want to see him do his thing. Okay. So I think that's not an unnecessary luxury, but a thankful luxury for Kansas City right now because he can definitely catch and run. He can definitely run the ball too. So
yeah,
I think it's at the right time. Let's switch over to the theme of our background. Still not in boys. What happened? Is it bad officiating?
No,
is it just
don't ever blame them, bro. They had 14 penalties. That's on them. And then they run a QB draw with 14 seconds to go.
I'm gonna let you handle this section. Go ahead.
Listen, man. Look, they come into the playoffs. They come into the season talking all this shit that nobody wants to hear about, right? So you let Jimmy G go up. What was it, 23-7 on you, right? You let him do all that. If Jimmy G was a better quarterback, the game would have been 40-7. Okay. He missed wide open Brandon Ayuk. He missed wide open Deebo Samuel one time as well. Like he's still an average quarterback. At the end of the day, Jimmy G is an average quarterback. So the Cowboys are even lucky enough to have been in that situation in the fourth quarter to run a quarterback draw with 14 seconds on the clock and no timeouts. What idiot calls a quarterback draw with 14 seconds on the clock with no timeouts? Like, you have to understand how the game works, okay? When you're in a hurry-up offense, you want to get the ball out of bounds unless you can get a huge chunk down the field where you can hurry up and spot it, right? But there's like this time, okay? It takes time for all these big-ass linemen, right? All these wide receivers running full sprints over and over and over again to get back to the line, okay? And you run a quarterback draw, like, they want to blame the referee for not being on top of the play. Did you tell the referee you're running a quarterback draw? No. The referee in his right mind would think he's dropping back to throw the ball, right? So on top of all of that, the referee sprinted back, right? You can't spot the ball by yourself. That is not how it works. Larry Fitzgerald was the king of telling you. We made fun of Chase Claypool for his dumb shit he did a few weeks ago.
I was going to say Claypool, exactly.
Right? We just made fun of him a few weeks ago for not knowing how to properly execute a 2-minute drill, right? And the Cowboys, and I said in the beginning of the year, I was like, Mike McCarthy is going to be the reason why this team doesn't win a Super Bowl. They have the talent. They have the talent. Dak Prescott's getting paid millions of dollars. Amari Cooper, I don't know why he's getting paid so much money because he does not care about football anymore, but he's still talented. CeeDee Lamb is still talented. Ezekiel Elliott is falling off a cliff, but he's talented, and you got Tony Pollard as well. Like, Dalton Schultz is a good tight end. Jarwin, good tight end. So they have the talent. Defensively, Michael Parsons, rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year. Even though I think Diggs is kind of overrated, I mean, he still had the amount of interceptions he had. The defense is much improved, and they still get in their own way every single year. And I say it all the time. The Cowboys would do cowboyish things, and they did it again. I knew it. I said it when I watched them play the Chargers week 2, and Mike McCarthy didn't know what the hell was going on with the clock. I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be the theme this year. And the majority of the games that they lost this year, besides like the ones that they were blown out, like the Broncos and stuff, all of it, clock management, boneheaded stuff. Like against the Cardinals, boneheaded stuff. Like they do boneheaded things. And with 14 seconds on the clock, I don't care. Quarterback draw, like if I'm the defender, I'm going to fall on top of Dak and just stay on top of him. Like that's what I'm going to do. Like, why are you running a quarterback draw? Get out of bounds. And he wanted to get the extra yards, and he doesn't hand the ball off to the ref. Like the center is supposed to hand the ball off to the ref. Somebody give the ball to the ref, and they want to spot the ball themselves. And they're mad that the ref bumped into Dak. What do you want him to do? Go around the line? Like he went through it to get closer to the ball, because that's what he's trained to do. And they can't blame him. And then their dumbass fans are throwing trash at the refs. And Dak Prescott saying, "Oh, credit to them, credit to them." I don't care about his apology today because it came a few days too late. Don't credit your dumbass fans, crying ass fans, throwing trash at the referees because you fell down 23-7 against a team with the inferior quarterback and inferior talent. Like at the end of the day, the Cowboys are more talented than the 49ers. I don't care what anybody tells me, but I knew the 49ers would win this game. Why? Because they're better coached. Even though Kyle Shanahan has made a lot of mistakes, they're still better coached. And they want it. They can just feel that they want it more. And the Cowboys feel entitled. That's why they're all crying, "Oh, the referees." Oh, and they just feel like because we're them boys and quote unquote America's team, we're just gonna get away with dumb shit that we do all year long, including a quarterback draw with 14 seconds on the clock. I don't know, man. I just don't get it.
I mean, I'm riding the same wave as you, and I mean, throwing the ball to CeeDee Lamb one time, like, come on, you got to get that guy more involved. He's a first round pick.
For whatever reason, Dak and him just are not on the same page.
They're not. I don't get what it is, but like we'll get into the next section probably, but there's going to be changes next year, and that's going to be your guy. That's going to be your guy. Jerry Jones spike picked that. That was a spike pick by Jerry Jones, and it turned out to be the right pick.
Yeah.
So you got to get all your offensive weapons in play. And if you see a matchup just taking off and like Tom Brady does, pick at it, then you're going to take that matchup. I get it. But if you don't test the waters, I'm sorry, man. Like I get it. I think Mike McCarthy is a good coach. Do I think he's a great coach? No. But
I
I don't
think you're being nice.
I think I am being nice too.
Because Aaron Rodgers carried him to that one Super Bowl. And after that, with all the talent that Aaron Rodgers has in his prime, they couldn't do anything with it. Anything.
Exactly.
They wasted his career.
But Aaron Rodgers is like fine wine. He gets better. He gets better with age.
Bro,
so,
he was great before. Matt LaFleur has rewoken him up.
I know. I think Mike McCarthy is a good coach. I don't think he's great. And I don't think it's a good look for the Cowboys, to be honest with you. I don't think that's what they need. I think Mike McCarthy is a drum banger. That's it. But when it comes to making the right plays, he makes a lot of bonehead plays. He doesn't know how to make.
What was Jason Garrett?
Jason Garrett was just a fan favorite there for so long.
He's the same. He's somebody that doesn't. He would never push back on Jerry Jones ever, and Jerry Jones likes puppets.
But that's the hard part. Who's going to push back on Jerry? Is
Sean Payton, Andy Reid, Bill Belichick.
Time soon. Those coaches, those organizations know what they have. They're not in a crisis where you gotta jump ship.
Why did they fire Brian Flores? Because he was his own man, and they couldn't handle that in Miami.
Yeah, Brian Flores ain't gonna cut it in Dallas, man. Trust me.
But that's what I'm saying. If you hire somebody in Dallas that's their own man, it's not going to work for Jerry Jones, because Jerry Jones in his head is the coach, he's the GM, he's the owner, he's the quarterback, he's the all be all in Dallas.
I get all that. That's the problem in Dallas, though. That at the end of the day, that's what boils down to, is that Jerry's got to take the step back, and Jerry's got to let the people that he's hiring do what they do best. Jerry can sit there and be happy for the games. Jerry can sit there from his yacht on his helicopter and watch the games and cheer it on. Jerry's the biggest Cowboys fan we know. But this so-called America's team, I don't get it anymore. I don't get why it's America's team. They had their flash in the past in the 90s. You know, the Tony Romo era came. They couldn't get it done there. And then after all of that, it just kept crumbling. They put out the best talent. They put out the best talent every year. When Emmitt Smith was gone, they bring in, what was it? Julius Jones, and then Felix Jones, and then Marion the Barbarian, and then Zeke Elliott, and all of these.
I remember they had what's his name? Bald guy that played at Oklahoma. What's his name?
Oh, DeMarco Murray. They had
DeMarco Murray,
man. They had DeMarco Murray. They get all these wide receivers after the Michael Irvin era. The Miles Austin story is great. Like, they put out the talent. We get it. They put out the talent. But they just can't close, man. It looks great on paper, but it all comes down to Jerry Jones and what he does, man. I feel, in my personal opinion, and it's probably the truth, is there's too much interference with things. And like you said, he likes a puppet. And I bet you Mike McCarthy's like, I want to do this, but I can't, because if I do that, Jerry's going to get upset and I'll lose my job. Well, if you don't win ball games, you're going to lose your job in Jerry's world. And I honestly think Mike McCarthy's going to get another shot because he brought the Cowboys to the playoffs. But
I don't know. I don't know, man. He is not it, bro. He is not. He's too soft and he's too dumb. He's too dumb. He, like, the only reason, I'll keep it a buck. The reason why they were successful this year, Dan Quinn saved them on defense. Kellen Moore was creative enough on offense. But when it comes to, at the end of the day, your job as a head coach in football, we have coordinators, let the coordinators coordinate. But your job as the head coach is to hold like clock management, right? Player personnel, making sure, okay, I want this package, making sure players go to sleep at time. You're basically, especially in Dallas, you are the extension of the front office, right? You are just the overseer. You don't do anything, okay? But the things that you should be doing, you need to be on top of it, right? And time again, I've seen it over and over and over. His clock management skill, like I've been talking about clock management problems with him since September. And in the first possible playoff game that they play, they screw up clock management, and that's why they lose the game. Like, think about it. Like, if nothing has changed with him, that's just how I feel. And once they lose Kellen Moore and Dan Quinn, they're going back to, they can't be 8-8 no more. They'll be 8-9 and 9-8 with all that talent and that high ass payroll. they go back to the basement because that's who they are. And really quick, you were mentioning all the running backs, but they've had Terrell Owens, they've had Des Bryant, they've had all these guys right now. They had Roy Williams. They've had talent. They've had so much talent. What's that tight end's name that did Monday Night Football? Jason Witten. They've had so much talent and nothing to show for it. And for me personally, it's laughable because it is funny to me. As an Eagles fan, of course, this is very laughable. Very laughable. But like,
because I feel like if anybody should be tuning into our podcast, it's definitely Cowboys fans. This is for y'all because y'all think you're the boys every year, and then you come crashing down just because you make the playoffs. Doesn't mean shit. Get there.
I will say, Cowboy fans ain't fair weather. They're annoying.
Yeah, they are annoying.
Very annoying. But they honestly believe every year is their year.
But we bring you to the light. We bring you to the light on shit about your fan, about your so-called America's team franchise, man.
Yeah.
Anthony Anderson will tell you about it in the back.
Hey,
Stephen A. is what it's about.
You see it. Hold on. Let me move out the way. What'd I say? Oh, laughing my ass off. But all right. I don't want to talk about the Cowboys no more. Just really quickly, last game of the past weekend, because we're talking about officiating, because there was a little bit of controversy with the Bengals and Raiders game. Joe Burrow was running out of bounds, and then he threw a touchdown, but as the ball was in the air, they blew the whistle dead because they thought he stepped out of bounds, right? And I've been listening to like Mike Pereira and other officials after the fact, and they said, when they blow the whistle, the play dead, no matter what you see on replay camera, once that inadvertent whistle is blown, the play is dead and the touchdown shouldn't have counted. So I don't know if you're familiar with all the background story with that, but A, do you think that affected the Raiders' opportunity to win a football game, or B, do you just think the Bengals are just a better team that day?
I think the Bengals are the better team that day. I think the Raiders got a lot to look forward to. I honestly think they have their head coach and they shouldn't go looking for other people, but they're going to do what they're going to do.
They fired Mike Mayock.
Oh, he had to go.
You fire a GM, you don't have a coach anymore.
That's true.
Dave Gettleman retired, quote unquote, and what's his name was gone the next day. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean the guy literally wrote personal thank you letters to all of his players in the room, which is an admirable thing. I think he's a good guy. I think for all the shit that happened in Las Vegas, and for him to get him to the playoffs, and I was watching Colin Cowherd today earlier in the morning, and he was talking about how you have those guys in the locker room, they're rallying for this guy, he's the underdog, and they get there and they lose that game, but they still got fight in them after that. They still want to play for this guy.
Yeah, they love him.
Front office doesn't see that, and front office isn't even there. So, if Harbaugh is what they want, Harbaugh's what they're going to get.
That's what they want, bro. It's clear as day. They want to make this. It's Las Vegas, bro. They got to make a splash higher. They got to bring fans to the game. They got to sell tickets. They got to do gambling. They got to do DraftKings and all this shit. That's what you sign up for when you move that team to Las Vegas. It's a little bit of chaos because that's what the Raiders are based off of, is chaos. But I mean, honestly, they gave it their all this season. I mean, Ruggs and quarterback and Gruden and all, but John Madden, even if you want to count that,
it's a shit show.
It was crazy.
And next year, hopefully, they can clean that or rip that page out of the book and start fresh. I mean, if you look at it. It's Gruden. It's the issue with Ruggs. It's the failed drafting. The Antonio Brown signing, the failed draft picks that you drafted. The
Khalil Mack trade,
the Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper.
Clinton Farrell draft pick and a number 3 overall pick or whatever it was. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to get. And Alex Leatherwood too, who's not panning out. It's all there. It's all as clear as day. Is that they're not getting everything that's happening. So even the ability to put product on the field. When you look at the Raiders, there's really no product out there except for Derek Carr maybe and Waller. That's really it. And
Max Crosby.
And Max Crosby. That's really it that you get. But other than that, it's abysmal. I mean, those guys aren't going to win you a game alone. You're going to have a good team all around it. So, and historically, that's a place people. Well, now it's in Vegas. But that's a franchise that people want to come play for. Al Davis got pockets. Al Davis used to play players. He go get Marcus Allens. He go get Randy Mosses. Go get Rich Gannons. All those things. So
I look at them as like, I don't know. They're like, they have the history of like a Cowboy and the Steelers, right? Because historically, the 70s, the 80s, the Frozen Tundra, and all the football movies that you see, the Raiders, John Madden, right? They have a history kind of thing, but in the last, same thing I say with the Cowboys. In the last, it's about to be 30 years. What have you shown for me lately?
Yeah, they've fallen off. But let's not break down the Raiders. Let's go into the officiating of things. So controversial Bengals Raiders game, the Dallas game, whatever you want to say. And then other parts of the game. I mean, Tom Brady is obviously pampered as well. But it goes back to what we always preach all the time. Like, the officiating just sucks in pro sports now. The game is soft. I remember Carlton Davis had an interception. He got excited and they gave him, I told Rico at the sneaker convention, I was like, they're gonna give him a penalty for that watch for excessive what do you call it? Yeah. So I was like, they're gonna throw it. And sure enough, they did. And I was like, that's what happens to Carlton Davis. He's just known as that type of player, and he's targeted by the officials because he does that every time. He gets bonehead fucking penalties. But it didn't pan out at the end. Like, they still won the game. But if it comes down to the Rams and Carlton Davis does one of those, you're going to be fucking penalized, and it's going to hurt your team because the Rams ain't coming. The Rams are coming to shut shit down.
I mean, with the refs, listen, the only way they're going to fix the referee issue that they have is if they hire full-time refs. And I don't know what you're going to do from Tuesday to Thursday and then from Friday to Sunday. I don't know what those guys are going to do. But what you're doing, you're getting the teacher at Robinson High School, you're getting the cashier clerk at Publix, and you're pulling the gym guy at Crunch Fitness, and then you would say, hey, we need you to be here on Sunday. Here's going to be your game check. We need you to officiate this game. They've spent all week worrying about Publix groceries, Crunch Fitness gym, and teaching at Robinson High School. You think they have time to worry? Are they watching film? Are they working out on their fitness? Are they paying attention to what other teams do? Are they studying the rule book? Are they doing any of that? No. So if you don't have full-time refs, you won't have amazing officiating every game. Okay. And at the end of the day, we got Jerry Jones used to say this. The best thing about football is human frailty, which is why he doesn't want too much technology into football. Because at the end of the day, the refs are going to make mistakes. They're going to bring out the chains and do that little measurement thing and be like, oh, it's short, or oh, first down. That's just part of the game, okay? Well, you can do things as a head coach to mitigate those kind of situations, knowing that could be a possibility, okay? If they call a holding and you don't think it was a holding, guess what? There's holding on every play. It's not like they call holding on every play, okay? If you get caught, you get caught. Learn how to not get caught. Learn how to play to the hand of the official. Just learn how to manage the game better, because at the end of the day, the way it works right now, this is what you got, okay? Now, I know there's going to be a push in the near future. I mean, we're headed to the metaverse, so technology is about to be part of the game anyway. So there's going to be
a digital house just sold for $169K.
Yeah, listen.
Can't live in it.
I talked about it. I've been talking about it off subject real quick. People spending $4 million on NFT paintings and $300,000 on fake houses. We're headed to it. Get used to it. This is what's going to happen. So at some point, there's going to be a chip in the football, and we'll know if it's first down or not. There's going to be like a lot of this stuff is going to be corrected. But while we're here, where we are today, just get over it. Like, the officiating is never going to be good, especially when you lose. When you're the losing team, the first thing, Mike McCarthy bum ass and Dak Prescott bum ass, the first thing they do, blame the refs. Don't take any fault for not managing the clock properly, and don't take any fault for having 14 penalties, and none of them were debatable. Like, they know that they got penalized 14 times. I'm sorry, the Cowboys are the low-hanging fruit today. The Cowboys are the most penalized team this season. This season. The Cowboys were the most penalized team this season, and they were 1 yard away from being the most penalized yards this season. Behind who? The Raiders, who were also the ones that are complaining about a failed call, okay? So the two teams that are complaining the most this weekend are the two teams that have been penalized the most because they do dumb shit. Unfortunately, that's what it is. And we get, I love everything that Pisaccia did for the Raiders this season to kind of keep them afloat. But all that shit that the Raiders do is because they do dumb shit off the field. You think they're going to be better on the field? The Cowboys, every year, they always have a player off the field get arrested, get in trouble, DUI. It's always something off the field. So if you don't have disciplined players off the field, what makes you think they're going to be better players on the field? So, and that's part of officiating, because it's like a police officer. If the police officer is, in the field, they might arrest you on some dumb shit, and it might be a stupid fine or a stupid penalty, stupid arrest, stupid something. It all goes hand in hand. Manage your team better, and you eliminate all everyone's issues with officials. Okay, and thirdly, when you have a Tom Brady on the field, and Aaron Rodgers on the field, Patrick Mahomes on the field, who do you think they're going to protect? The NFL makes more money when Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady and Josh Allen and all these exciting quarterbacks are playing. They don't make money to watch Jalen Hurts. No offense, but they don't care to watch Mitch Trubisky. And
I'm telling me that's with me.
I'm just saying they don't make money watching Mitch Trubisky and these guys. So yeah, I got mad that Tom Brady gets a good whistle. It doesn't get, he's getting protected. But what do you think they're gonna do? They protect their product. That's what they do. They made all these rules to protect the quarterback. So yeah, taunting, they don't want to see it. But hey, if you hit the quarterback below in the knee, flag, because Tom Brady tore his ACL, missed the whole season. You touch the quarterback in the head, flag. You do something that you put your weight on him, and like Aaron Rodgers tears his collarbone, flag. Like that's what you protect the quarterback. You protect the guy that's getting paid the most money on the field. Plain and simple. So yes, the officiating sucks, but I'm dropping my mic. Yes, the officiating sucks, but get over it.
I also feel like your old roots were coming out right there of officiating. You wanted to speak on behalf of officiators everywhere.
I mean, yeah, I used to ref.
Exactly.
It's hard. No, but seriously, I was reffing college kids and high school kids in meaningless or kind of meaningful, but not money on the line kind of games. These are 65-year-old men refereeing in front of a crowd of 70,000 people and 100 million people watching at home. There's a lot of stress that goes into it, okay? So if they make an error, calm the hell down. You could not go on the field to do the same thing that they're doing. It's hard. It really is hard. So just get over it and don't make mistakes. That's so simple.
All right, so of the teams that made it,
that felt good.
Yeah, it felt good to get off your chest. I could tell.
I'm on my venting shit lately.
Yeah, sorry to poo-poo on you Cowboys fans. This is an episode we got to do it. It's just too funny. It's too funny.
I mean, I poo-pooed on the Giants a lot, and the Giants suck. So the Cowboys got to get some of this heat.
Exactly. So of those losing teams, we can honestly say some have bright futures and some have dark futures. Of those teams, who would you say has the brightest future moving forward?
The brightest future moving forward. I would have it. All right. I'm not going to say the Eagles, but I would love to say the Eagles. Okay. I'll give you my reason really quick. We have 3 first-round draft picks. We have a quarterback that the team still believes in, a coach that's still young, that's still going to be learning. But we're kind of aging in some parts of the field, offensive line, defensive line. We got to figure out our secondary. So there's a lot that needs to be figured out in Philadelphia. So I won't say them. But I mean, the thing about the Cowboys, if they lose their assistant coaches, I don't know. This is a tough question, actually. I don't know. If I had to close my eyes and pick a team, I would say the Cardinals if they get a new head coach.
Okay. You think Cliff Kingsbury is the problem?
Go look at his last 10 years of coaching, period. He does this in college and he does this in NFL. Starts off hot, loses at the end, okay? And they handpicked him to take over this team for Kyler Murray, right? I think if you gave Byron Leftwich this team, if you gave I don't know, a better leader this team, they wouldn't have these second half uh ailments that affect them at the end of the
You know
year.
what I think about Cliff Kingsbury? I think he's soft. I think he's just like not very spoken. I think he's flashy.
Yeah.
We saw him draft day in that house, sitting in that house. He's flashy.
Yeah. All right. How about this? Look at all those teams. Who has the best quarterback?
In my opinion, the team with the brightest future is the Patriots.
I knew you were going to say that, but have we not seen the best of Mac Jones already?
No, look at what he did with an abysmal like wide receiver core. Like it wasn't a good wide receiver core. We can't say any of those guys are.
But when are they ever going to address that? They never addressed the wide receiver core.
When is Bill going to? Okay, when is Bill going to ever spend money? Bill spent money this year. I think the next step is Bill goes and gets that wide receiver. He learned his lesson. He's going to get the wide receiver, get a decent. There's some good wide receivers that are coming out. Juju will be out there. Allen Robinson will be out there. Can't think of the other guy. There was one more that I was going to say, but there's going to be some talent. And Allen Robinson fits the mold to be there. We all know Allen Robinson can be a star one receiver. We've seen it with the right quarterback.
I think he's done as a star. You know what he is? He's like, well, you know, Alshon Jeffrey is where's Alshon Jeffrey? Disappeared off the face of the planet. I think Allen Robinson's headed right there.
It could happen. I'm not.
Right there.
I'm not. But Alshon has one of these too.
Yeah. You're welcome, Alshon. But no, thank you too. Thank you, Alshon. But no, you're probably right. You are probably right. But I'm looking at like the divisions, right? Kyler Murray's still a kid. You know, Matthew Stafford, 13 years in the league, getting kind of old, and they have no draft capital. Russell Wilson might not be there in a couple months. And then who's the other team in the West? Oh, the 49ers. Who knows what Trey Lance is going to be, right? So to me, Kyler Murray, like look, Josh Allen. Oh, I have to apologize to Josh Allen because he showed the hell out. He showed out this week. Like,
hold your apologies. There's still one more game.
Because you know how he is. He's high highs and low lows. So
exactly.
I like him as a talent and as a player. But look, Mac Jones will never be as talented as Josh Allen. So like it's like
either.
Luckily for Mac Jones, he's better than Tua. But what if the Dolphins get Deshaun Watson or go get one of these veteran quarterbacks?
I'm saying right now, we can't go by that. I'm going by the roster structure. I'm talking about the players that they could possibly sign. I'm talking about the draft picks. Like the Patriots hung with the Bills. The Patriots beat the Bills by throwing the ball 3 times once this season, which is amazing.
To me, that's more of a fluke now. Like they have no explosive players on the Patriots. Literally, they have banged up Damian Harris, banged up Ramondre Stevenson. They're all banged up all the time. The running backs are always banged up. Jacoby Myers, not that guy. Kendrick Bourne, not that guy. Nelson Aguilar, not that guy. Hunter Henry stays hurt. Jonnu Smith is getting old. Like they were good for this year, but if I had to looking forward, they're gonna have to keep retooling. Whereas the Bills are there, they're ready, and they're gonna be like this for some time.
Okay. I mean, I get with you what you're saying, but like, okay, let's look at Arizona. Arizona's division. Yes, I could say Arizona's my other one too. I was gonna go A and B, A and N, AFC, NFC. I would say Arizona and the AFC and the NFC. I would say the Patriots for sure going forward. But I'm not mad. But it's my opinion. It's my show, my opinion.
Or what if the Steelers get a quarterback?
What if they do? That's all they need.
They're the best team out of all those teams.
That's all they really need.
You got Mike Tomlin. You got stability.
It's hard to bet against Mike Tomlin because he's always winning.
Yeah,
he's always winning. We've said it this year. It could be his first losing season.
Still,
and he called into the show and said, "Hold your beer."
Even with a tie to the Lions, he still had a winning season. Get out of here.
It's insane, man.
If the Steelers get a quarterback, then we're having a different conversation because I mean that's all they need, honestly.
I agree. So which one has the darkest future? Because I got my team already.
Who's yours? I want to hear yours.
Cowboys.
The boys. They have Michael Parsons, bro. They have
no, but all of that offense that they have is gone. All of that is gone. Like Dak got paid. So now you've got to find a way to keep Amari Cooper if you want. If not, he's gone.
I'll trade him.
Whatever they do, all I'm saying is that team that you're seeing is going to look different next year. Schultz is going to have to get paid. CeeDee Lamb is going to be like, hey, I'm wide receiver one money, so start paying attention to that. Otherwise, I'm out of here too. Zeke probably going to be gone too. Pollard show is going to come, so we're hoping that that's going to take off. And look at all the other pieces of the defense that might not be like DeMarcus.
Keep it on the offense real quick. The biggest issue that they're having, their offensive lineman is aging. Like Tyron Smith is old. What's the other? All of them are aging, and the guys in the middle, they suck. They got pushed around all day. So on the offensive side, I would say those other guys they can figure out. But the offensive linemen, if they can't figure out that, then they're screwed for a while. So I'll agree with you on that aspect. But the only reason why I push back is because at the end of the day, still, the Washington football team is not as good. The Giants are not as good. And no offense for my own team that I love, we're not there yet. Until, I don't know what we're going to do this offseason, but we're not the Cowboys. We're not even, I would not put us in the same breath yet. Now, they'll probably win the division again next year, lose in the first round. But to me, I always look at what's around them, what you got to deal with. Dak's still the best quarterback in the division. And if you have the best quarterback in the division, everything else will work itself out. I see Tom Brady with Chris Hogan and Danny Amendola make it to a Super Bowl. So as long as you have a competent quarterback, everything else will work itself out. That's why I couldn't really. And Michael Parsons is only going to get better, but he's the best defensive player in the NFC, or in my opinion.
I got no beef with Michael Parsons. I'm saying is like that team that you had on paper this year it's not gonna look the same next year. And as stone faced as Amari Cooper is and his love of the game, he's still a good wide receiver. And it's gonna be it's gonna be a big chunk of your offense gone because that's Dak's favorite target to throw to wide receiver wise. It's going to have to be Dalton Schultz now, and he's going to demand money. So
I don't know. My pick is the Raiders. I think the Raiders, this God was on their side this year to get them to the playoffs. But realistically, the Chargers should have made the playoffs. I don't know why they didn't. Okay. So we go back and look at that division. To me, the Raiders are the worst team in that division. The Chiefs, clearly better. The Chargers, to me, still clearly better. And then the Broncos, I'm telling you, we talk about quarterback away teams. Get a quarterback, and that team is they were like had a winning record just a couple weeks ago. They kind of fell off at the end when Bridgewater had a concussion. But get a quarterback in Denver, and whatever if they figure out their management situation, the Raiders drop to the worst team in that division. Derek Carr is same thing. He's a good leader, but he has limitations to his talent. And then receiver wise, Deshaun Jackson's about to be out of there. He's 45 years old. And then Darren Waller, I don't know, for the amount of talent that he has, I feel like he's a little too inconsistent for me. And then outside of that, what do you have? Zay Jones, Edwards. Like, I don't know how much I really believe in that. And then defensively, they got. They have Max Crosby, and that's it. So to me, the Raiders, I don't know how they did it this year. Again, I don't know how they did it. But I don't think we're having the same – because, every year it's like brand new teams that make the playoffs. I think the Raiders fall deep down the rabbit hole next season. So I got the Raiders as the team. And then they're going to get rid of that coach. And if it is Harbaugh, it's going to take some time because he has to get his guys in there. That's what happens. When you get a new coach and a new GM, you have to rip it apart first so you can build it back up. So we'll figure out what happens with coach. But to me, their near future, I don't feel that great about the Raiders personally.
I don't know. If I had to pick my team on the AFC side, that would be my team as well. All right, let's preview divisional round now. AFC, we've got Cincinnati versus Tennessee, Buffalo versus Kansas City, and in the NFC, we got San Francisco versus Green Bay, Rams versus Tampa Bay. What's something you're excited to see out of all of these games?
I mean, the Bills and the Chiefs, that is the best game of the weekend for me. Bucks and Rams will be good, but 49ers and Packers will be decent. Bengals and Titans, that game could go either way. The Titans can embarrass the Bengals simply because they have a lot of strength and power. But the Bengals, Yeah, Henry's back. Julio's healthy. AJ Brown's healthy. They have a week to just kind of rest and get their talent back. And Vrabel might slow that game down, and the Bengals might, because you got to understand the Raiders played so horrible last weekend. Like seriously, I watched that game from start to finish. They played so bad, and they only lost by a touchdown. Like they had a chance to tie the game at the end of the game. And I was like, if was any other quarterback or any other team playing against the Bengals this past weekend, they would have blown out the Bengals simply because there was like they needed like the Bengals got a lucky draw of getting the Raiders personally. And now they get the Titans, which to me, the Bengals should very well be. I mean, they have the offensive power to do it, right? But what we learned about the Titans, they'll lose to shitty teams, Jets, Jaguars, stuff like that. But when they got to play a good team, bro, they just do it. Bro. They just do it, and I don't think they're gonna sleep for the Bengals. So to me, that game could be very well be boring because the Titans might very well just go out there and just destroy them. But that Chiefs Bills game, bro, I have no idea who's gonna win that game. I want to see Mahomes successful and win it because that's my boy, but I have no idea. Like that is explosive offense next to explosive offense. Travis Kelce might throw a touchdown, and Josh Allen might jump over three people and stiff arm somebody, do a little spin move, jump into the end zone on some Cam Newton shit. Like, I don't know, man. That one's tough. I don't know what you got, but that one's tough for me.
I think that's the most exciting game of the week, with the Rams and Tampa Bay holding its heel. Those are going to be the
and those are the Sunday games too.
Yeah, and yeah, that's crazy. And then don't forget, like a couple years back, San Fran gave it to Green Bay. The Mozart show came out. So even though
they very well could do it again, yeah. Very well.
Yeah, I'm just really locked in on Aaron Rodgers this year. I think he's, doing his thing, doing his book tour of like his stupidity and being on whatever shows. But I think that he's all in on winning this year. And I think they have the product out there. I think as much as we were talking shit about that defense, it's a pretty good defense. They're pretty legit.
Wrong. I was very wrong about that defense.
And adding Jair Alexander back is going to make it even better. So
David Bakhtiari on the offensive line is back. Cobb is going to be back. He missed the last few weeks. Receiver. So yeah, Randall Cobb. That one.
They should be rowing all oars in the water, and it's going to be a good matchup because San Fran's defense is legit. The offense is they've got
Debo. It's Debo.
it's the Debo and the Kittle show, but it's definitely
Elijah Mitchell. He's straight.
Yeah, he's not bad, but I mean, could we get an Elijah Mitchell sighting in Green Bay? So never know. Once you find the Achilles heel, you're obviously going to rip it out and try and win the game that way afterwards. And obviously Mozart did what he did a couple of years back, and they ran the ball. They won the game. Let the defense do what they do. So we'll see what happens. They're all going to be great games. The most boring one to me is going to be Cincinnati, Tennessee, though, because I just.
But it's crazy. Cincinnati can make the Super Bowl this year.
Good.
They're not. I don't think they're scared of the Titans, and they've already proven they can beat the Chiefs. And I mean, why not? The way history works, they're way too young to be able to pull that off. They have no offensive line. Joe Burrow is in his second year. Jamar Chase is a rookie. They're being led by kids. So again, conventional
head coach at that, and a kid head coach at that.
Yeah. That was Zach Taylor or whatever. They don't know what they don't know yet, but they can why not, right? It's like why not with them? So that game is honestly, I was gonna say so like they added the extra playoff team. The Eagles were the extra playoff team. We got ran off the field. The Steelers were the extra playoff team, and the Chiefs ran them off the field. So in my head, I was like, what was the point of all these extra playoff teams, right? But the second round matchups are pretty damn good. For what it's worth, the second round matches are pretty damn good. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what they lead to. The Rams to me got a tough draw because NFL got to make that money. They played Monday Night Football. There's never been a playoff game that I've ever seen on Monday Night Football in my life, right? The man now they have to fly from LA to Tampa. You know how West Coast teams don't do well on the East Coast? Now they got to do it on a short week to play against Tom Brady, who played Sunday at 1:00. Like, to me, that's a bad draw for the Rams, but that's what you get for not getting the 2 seed because you let the 49ers back into the game. So that's on them. But I don't know. That, to me, that was probably the toughest draw was for that reason right there. But,
It's a late game though. We play at 4, so
yeah, but that's still like, bro, Monday Night Football to Sunday is still an extra day that the Bucks got to rest, and they don't have to travel. So basically, the Bucks get 2 extra days to chill and work on film and stuff, while the Rams have to ramp it back up and get to Tampa and get accustomed to the time and get the bodies back right. It does take time. So
I'm just saying it's a night game. So I agree with you 100%. That West Coast shift. How many games did we do on like what's going to happen in our pick'ems? So we did it based off West Coast going to the East Coast, and that's what the transition is. Happens all the time.
It's 3:00. It's a 3:00 game. That's not a night game. The Chiefs and the Bills are a night game.
Oh, it is. I thought that
because the Chiefs and the Bills are at 6:30.
Okay, I thought they were the night game. All right.
Side note, really quickly, Joel Embiid has 47 points heading into the fourth quarter. Lord have mercy, that boy is good. Good.
Okay, so of all these quarterbacks that we talked about, minus maybe Tennessee's, what quarterback has the most pressure in this game?
In all 4 of those games, who has the most pressure?
In all 8 of these, all 4 of these games, yeah.
4 games.
Yeah.
Man, I'm stuck between Matthew Stafford and Aaron Rodgers. Because Matthew Stafford, they put all the chips in the basket. They said, "Look, Stafford, this is you. We got you here to get us to Super Bowl." But Aaron Rodgers, though, this stuff, what happened this past summer, and you get home field advantage again. You have so much controversy this year with the whole vaccine and all the shit that's happened this year. He called the reporter a bum again. He's about to win an MVP again, his 4th time. If you win another MVP and you still only have 1 Super Bowl to show for it, which happened over a decade ago, to me, all the pressure is going to be on Aaron Rodgers because he got the first seed. I mean, that's what you did all this stuff for, is to get that first seed. So to me, I was between Stafford and Rodgers. I'm gonna just say Rodgers. He got to get it done. Like Mahomes, look, he's still a kid. Josh Allen's still a kid. Burrow and all of them are still kids except for Brady and Rodgers. And then Stafford's like middle age, but yeah, to me, it's got to be Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I was gonna go the same route as you. Like the Rams gave up a lot for Matthew Stafford. They made all the right moves to go get the wide receiver and OBJ. And Von Miller, so they're all in.
Brought back Eric Weddle.
Brought back Eric Weddle
off the couch, off the damn sofa. Like, hey, bro, come back.
Great too. He looked great in that game too.
That's so crazy to me.
There's just players out there that are like that. I always felt like Eric Weddle, no matter where he's played at, has just been that type of guy.
A stay ready type of guy.
Yes, I feel like he's a stay ready type of guy. Like,
yeah.
He's 34? Is he 34?
I thought he was older than that.
Maybe older than that, but shit, the motherfucker is a very agile guy. I've seen him play like when he was not re-signed with, was it the Rams?
37, yeah, he's 37.
Oh shit, well, he
37 playing safety, meaningful time at safety against Tom Brady. Jeez,
he crazy. He crazy, man.
That's gonna
He's
be
a crazy. But Green Bay as well. I was gonna say Aaron Rodgers because one ship and you're supposed to be the greatest thing. Like, trust me, I want Aaron Rodgers to be better than Tom Brady. Like the numbers, it won't happen, but get there. Make football entertaining for me, man. Like I want to see good games, and Aaron Rodgers keep going and getting another Super Bowl, something everybody wants to see.
Yeah, Tom Brady getting 8. It's like, why? I don't want to see it anymore.
Fucking Thanos out here.
I'm bored, Tom. I'm bored, Tom. Like, I've been on my Tom Brady hate week, even though I know he's the GOAT. He's great. He's a Michigan guy. I love Tom Brady, right? I actually genuinely do love Tom Brady. But this week specifically, I'm on my Tom Brady hating tour because I feel like I just don't want to see it. I just don't want to see it no more. And he might very well just win it again because why not? Why not? It's sad, but it's
Yeah.
crazy.
He's Aaron Rodgers is another one that I was gonna say Josh Allen too, because we see these kind of games where he just has like a great game and then he comes crashing back down to earth. So hopefully he can keep the same steam going in the playoffs. I don't see him crashing down to earth in this Kansas City game. I see it like a shootout type of game, where it's going to be all offense and the defense chips in, and whoever has the better defense is going to win it. But we know Mahomes is going to do his thing. Allen's going to do his thing.
But if Josh Allen loses to Patrick Mahomes, is there any like shame in that? If you lost to Patrick Mahomes,
there's no shame in it, but how many times is it going to happen when it
it's
comes
Mahomes. Like
I
Peyton
know it's
Manning
Mahomes.
lost to Tom Brady for years, and he still got 2 rings.
Yeah, this true. I mean, it is what it is, but like that could be the new, competing quarterback thing going forward, like Brady versus Manning. Maybe we're gonna get Mahomes versus Allen. So never know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yes, the AFC. Yeah, you're right. That's our future. A lot of Allen getting bounced in the conference championship to Patrick Mahomes. Who knows? That might very well be the future. So to me, he can't take too much shame in that if it is Patrick Mahomes. Aaron Rodgers losing to Jimmy Garoppolo, I'd be embarrassed if I'm Aaron Rodgers. Like, seriously.
I would too.
That's why I said
Jimmy Garoppolo's going to be on his Magic Johnson. I ain't going to be here next year.
I want to feel bad for Matt Stafford, but if he loses to Tom Brady, shit, you lost to Tom Brady. Like Jalen Hurts, when he got his ass beat this week, I was like, at least it was Tom Brady. Like if he would have got his ass beat by Jimmy Garoppolo, I'd be pissed off. You got his ass beat. You get your ass beat by the GOAT, you got to just clap your hands and just shake his hand and go home. Like Cancun, baby. That's all you can do.
Let's go, baby. All right, let's switch to NBA talk. Let's do a little buy and sell. I'm gonna ask you a question. I'll let you answer all of these. All right, and I'll just chip in a little bit at the end. Buy and sell. Frank Vogel is on the hot seat with the Lakers.
Buy is clear. I mean, he has the 22 and 22. I don't know what the result's going to be in a couple hours when they play against the Pacers. I assume the Lakers should win that game. It looked good against Utah the other night, but you don't know what you're going to get. Do I buy that he's on a hot seat? Yes. Do I think he should be on a hot seat? I don't know, because he hasn't had Anthony Davis for the last 5 weeks.
Let me take it another level.
Yeah.
Should he be on the hot seat, or should front office be on the hot seat?
Well, you can't put front office on the hot seat, but this is their fault. Like all of this is their fault. And look, I don't think Frank Vogel's an amazing coach. I think he's a pretty average coach. Just like Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy to me is an average coach, but Aaron Rodgers carried him to a championship. Frank Vogel is a great defensive coach, but his defense this year is failing, right? However, it is not his fault that the defense is failing, because this roster is constructed with, no offense, 37-year-old Carmelo Anthony, 37-year-old LeBron James, Russell Westbrook doesn't play defense, Anthony Davis hasn't played all year, and everybody else they try to shoot. And Dwight Howard is old, and DeAndre Jordan is a fossil, and they've already got rid of Rondo. Like it's not his fault that this team is constructed how they're constructed. Like they're relying on Austin Reeves and Stanley Johnson in the fourth quarter, an undrafted free agent and a guy on his third 10-day contract to close for them in a meaningful game on MLK Day. So what is he supposed to do?
The same as yesterday is what he's saying.
What is he?
Price the same as yesterday.
His price don't went up. His price don't went up. But bro, like, listen, should he be on a hot seat? Yeah, he should. The seat should be a little hot, because that's what you do in the NBA. You fire the coach because he's a scapegoat. I remember a few years back, I think when they had Dwight Howard and Steve Nash, they fired Mike Brown after like 2 weeks.
Yep.
and they brought in, I think it was like Rudy Tomovich or some bullshit like that. Like, this is what happens in the NBA. If your team is struggling, blame the coach first, blame the star player second, and then blame the GM third. So all of them should be on the hot seat. LeBron should have said, "Nah, let's do Buddy Hield." Rob Pelinka should have not have gotten rid of Caruso and Kuzma, and should have gotten DeRozan when DeRozan wanted to be there. So, so yeah, it's all, everyone gets blamed for me on that one.
Yeah, I agree. I think Frank Vogel is on the hot seat. Not his fault though. The head coach, at least with the Lakers, doesn't really have say of how we put the team together. Yeah, he just wants. It's more of Pelinka and the LeBron show on things. But yeah, I agree in everything you just said. So no need in running it back with what I got to say. But let's go to a touchy one for you. Ben Simmons gets traded this year.
Um, go look at all these reports of who the Sixers have been offered for him. Josh Collins and who y'all just got? Cam Reddish. I've seen the Kings offer Harrison Barnes, Halliburton, a couple first round draft picks. I've seen all these amazing offers. The Pacers offered good players, and for whatever reason, Daryl Morey's dumbass is like, nope, not enough. I can't buy it because we've getting offered great packages and he's turned them all down. And he's on contract for 4 more years, getting paid $40 million a year. And he's still turning out all these contracts. So at this point, I think Daryl Murray is going to be stubborn and be like, no, you're just not going to play then, which is terrible. Look, I get mad. I always side with the player. And I know Ben Simmons pissed me off over the summer, but I always side with the player when it comes to this kind of stuff. Because at the end of the day, I mean, you're the product on the court, right? So to me, I think at this point he's getting a bad rap. This is horrible for Ben Simmons. So I'm selling that he's going to get traded because clearly Daryl Morey will only trade him for James Harden. That's what I think he wants. All he wants is James Harden, and I don't know what he's waiting on. You know, if he's waiting for Dame Lillard, I don't think Portland wants to get rid of Dame Lillard, and Dame Lillard has an abdominal tear. Like, I don't know what we're doing there. So to me, we got offers CJ McCollum. Like we're throwing Tobias Harris into the equation, and nobody wants. I don't know. I'm selling it because I don't know what the hell we're doing. I really don't get it. And at the end of the day, the Sixers are still doing well without him. We're doing well without him. So to me, I think they don't want to ruffle it up because, like, why ruffle it up unless we get exactly what we want? I think if we were 15 and 30, then we'd be like, all right, man, we got to just trade them and just see what we can get. But we're like fifth in the East right now. Like, why blow it up? Why make a move that's drastic, basically, if we can't get what we want? That's Daryl Morey's thinking. So I'm selling it that he'll get traded this season. And this might just bleed into the offseason. I mean, look, remember last January? If you would have told me that Deshaun Watson would not play a game this year or get traded or anything, I would have said, hell no. But now that I see Deshaun Watson a year later, we're literally a year later, and he's still on the Texans and hasn't played a game. Now I know GMs and front office, they are going to be dug in on keeping a player for as long as they can keep a player.
Yeah,
so,
I think it's I agree with you there. I think this is going to bleed into the offseason. I think it's unnecessary. Like, if the packages are there, the packages are there, man. And pull the trigger, man. What are we waiting for? Yeah. Like, obviously he doesn't want to be there. You don't want him to be there, but, like, you know, you're not going to get John Morant from it. It ain't going to happen. You're not going to get LeBron James from him. You're not going to get James Harden for him. It's just not going to happen. Yeah. So you're going to have to pull for whatever you can get. And young players and draft picks, that's the way to move. And you already got your point guard. He's there. Max is doing well. So
I don't know. I wish I had more insight on what specifically they wanted. I have no idea. Like, I don't know what's going on. I think at some point they should. To me, generally, they always cave. But this seems the most dug in I've ever seen in my life. He is super dug in on this one. So, hey, more power to him for being dug in. But I really do. Now I feel horrible for Ben Simmons. I don't think he deserves this.
All right, next question. I know you saw this before, so I'm going to throw a little curveball in there. Who's more likely to get traded, Myles Turner or CJ McCollum?
Myles Turner. Because he made it clear he doesn't want to be there. And I think he has like a little injury or something like that to his foot, but I think all the Indiana Pacers, they're in full rebuild mode. Sabonis don't want to be there. Myles Turner don't want to be there. I think Karis LeVert doesn't want to be there. I don't think Malcolm Brogdon's contract is tradable or something like that at this point, so he might be stuck. But I think Myles Turner, and I think CJ McCollum should get traded too, but I don't know what. Like, Portland to me is another mystery. I don't know what's going on up there. I think Dame should have left a long time ago, but clearly he wants to be there. And I haven't heard anything about CJ since, I don't know, December or November, actually. And those are all just rumors. But Myles Turner, I've heard his name enough to know he'll probably go to a contender, and hopefully it's Philly or LeBron.
Yeah, I agree. Myles Turner. Every year is the year Myles Turner gets traded. I think this is the year he's finally going to get traded.
Great player. Great player.
Oh yeah, he's a great player, underutilized player at that.
Yeah, and he made it clear I don't like how I'm utilized here.
Yeah, finally. Like I've been seeing it for the past 3 years. I'm like, this kid had like a great, what was it, rookie or sophomore campaign, and they're not using him. Like they're bringing him out in the fourth quarter. Like it makes no sense.
He's been balling he's been getting better every year. Like he leads the league in blocks. Like he's been balling he gets better every year. Like you see him in Cleveland with like Jared Allen. Like in Brooklyn, I don't know what they were trying to do with him in Brooklyn, but the moment he got to Cleveland, look at Cleveland now. Cleveland looks like an Eastern Conference contender all of a sudden because he has a role that he enjoys, and Evan Mobley can be on the same court with him at the same time. So you got
Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley is just versatile, bro.
Yeah.
Evan Mobley is versatile. Big men don't move like that very rarely. Like Kristaps Porzingis, that's who you want Kristaps Porzingis to move like, and it ain't gonna happen. So
he's too tall for that. Too tall,
exactly. Lakers make a trade at the deadline.
Yeah, bye. They have to. I don't know what their options are, but they have to because Magic Johnson put out a tweet the other day like something's got to change. Genie Bus. So it's either Frank Vogel's getting fired or they're going to make a trade. And even if it's not a big trade, because I don't know if Russell Westbrook can even be traded, it's going to be something small. I think THT is going to get moved. I think Wayne Ellington's on the block. I think Kent Bazemore's on the block. DeAndre Jordan's on the block. So Dwight Howard apparently is on the block too. So somebody's going to get moved. I don't know if it's going to be anything significant unless they get a Myles Turner or a Jeremy Grant, who's been talked about a lot lately. Or they might do buyout. I don't know, but I don't know who's going to get bought out this year. But somebody's going to get traded. Somebody's going to get traded.
Celtics. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I think they're going to make a trade. Hopefully it's for youth and nothing stupid.
But do you think, who do you think, I heard like Eric Gordon. Like, do you think it's going to be like a big move or just like a small, minute kind of thing?
I'd be trying to entertain the Buddy Hield thing every day. See what I can get for Buddy Hield.
I think they screwed that one up already.
I think they did, but I'd be like, if I'm Pelinka, I'm like, hey man, what do you want?
But I think that's why they got Malik Monk. Because what's the difference between Malik Monk and Buddy Hield? To me, they bring you the same kind of thing.
I think Malik Monk was never given the opportunity to prove it, and now he's proving it in LA that he can score when he wasn't given that opportunity in Charlotte. He was in the shadows of everybody before. He had a bad rookie year, he had a bad sophomore year. So what's there to fucking we busted here? So now he
underperformed. He could have played it. He could have came out a lot better. But he's somebody that needed to be coached properly and just needs time. Like that's what I felt.
I agree. And what's better than the tutelage of LeBron? But I mean, more youth is better than none, right?
Yeah,
why not have more youth? Buddy he'll be great coming off the bench for the Lakers right there and then.
They need youth badly for sure.
Celtics, are they buyers or are they sellers?
I mean, the Celtics don't be selling that much. They
bought. That's a buy. That's a buy.
They bought. They got Bobo. I don't know how he passes physical.
Bobo's always hurt. He's hurt anyway. So, do you see them making another trade that will help their team? Because Bobo, I don't think is going to play this year anyways.
So I think they're sellers. I think they'll get rid of Dennis Schroeder. But if you're getting rid of Dennis Schroeder, what are you getting back? Are you buying or selling if you get rid of Dennis Schroeder? That part, I don't know.
Do the Lakers get Dennis Schroeder back?
Hell no. That relationship is burnt. That one's super burnt. But no. To me, they're getting better. They're back in the playoff hunt. They look decent. So they should be buying, but I think today it will be kind of more mutual because you might get rid of Dennis Schroeder, but to get something back, more pieces back. I don't know. I really don't know with that one. That one's a little tough. But to me, they're both. They're both. If that makes sense. But they've already bought, so we'll see.
That's not really a buy in my book.
All right. They've already bought for the future.
Yeah.
They bought on layaway.
I say I'm gonna put them at buyers. I'm gonna say they'll make a splash. Not a giant splash, but something mediocre that, kind of like who's the guy, like an Evan Fournier type move or something like that. That is just like vanilla yogurt with a hint of peach in it type of thing. Nothing spectacular. So I feel like they make some kind of move as opposed to trading off players or big name players like that. Okay. John Morant wins MVP, buy or sell.
Oh, he's not gonna win MVP. That's a super sell. They won't let him win MVP. This not yet. He's not. To me, like when Derrick Rose won MVP, that could have easily went to like LeBron or went to God, it was somebody else who I was looking at. I remember at that time, but
D-Rose got his first round exit too.
Yeah, but he got because LeBron came was like, nah, bro, it's not gonna happen. So he's not having a D Rose type of like impact, but as of right now, I would go Giannis. I'd go KD, but KD's gonna be hurt for the next month, so never mind. Right now, I'd go Giannis. Well, he could sneak in if somebody gets hurt.
He's my top two right now.
Who are? Give me outside of Giannis and Ja. Who else?
Joel Embiid, bro.
Yes.
My third. That's definitely my third.
Yeah, all right. I can see that. I think if the Sixers can get to a top 2 seed, I think last year Jokic just had a great year last year, but I think Embiid got robbed. So I think if we can climb back to a top 2 seed, because Chicago's falling and Brooklyn has part-time Kyrie and no KD for the next 4 to 6 weeks, so they're gonna fall a little bit. James Harden cannot carry Nick Claxton and Blake Griffin's old ass to that many wins. So I think we can climb to a top 2 seed, and B can very well be that guy. I'd put Embiid over John Morant personally.
I wanted to put LeBron in there, but only because of where the Lakers are.
Yeah, not enough dubs.
If there's more dubs, then yeah. If I would definitely put LeBron.
People got Steph Curry up there too, actually. So
Steph Curry, also DeMar DeRozan too. They're all arguable.
DeMar won't get it. They won't give it.
I know they won't. I'm saying like as of now, like names you got to look for MVP. Like those are some of the names that people should be looking at, in my opinion.
I'd go Giannis personally. Giannis, Steph.
Yeah.
Before KD got hurt, I'll go. It was KD, Giannis, KD, Steph, Giannis. But now I got it, Giannis, Steph, and then I don't know KD. I don't know what KD's gonna do when he comes back. I don't know how that knee's gonna treat him. They might hold off on him to like make sure he's healthy for the playoffs. But we'll see. But right now, Giannis would be my guy.
Yeah, I'm not mad with that pick.
I think but Embiid should very well be in the discussion now. I don't know.
I agree. I'm also gonna say no. John Morant doesn't win MVP. It's cool what we get to see going on with John Morant because I'm happy for his growth. He's definitely probably one of my favorite players to watch the NBA right now. Would have loved to see him in a Knicks uniform. Oh my God, it would have been great. But we got RJ Barrett. I'm not mad at it. So, but yeah, I think he's got some time to grow. I think it's too soon for an MVP. I think the Grizzlies need to be buyers and get some talent around him. But they're trending up. They're doing very well. I'm happy where they're at.
Joel Embiid's stat line tonight, game's over. In 27 minutes, 50 points on 17 of 23 shooting, 12 rebounds. Too easy, bro. Too easy.
How many assists you have?
Huh?
How many assists you have?
He had two assists, 1 steal, and 3 blocks.
That all makes up for it right there.
50 and 12 with 3 blocks, 2 assists, 1 steal. Too easy, bro. 17 and 23 shooting, bro. Look, man. Yeah, he my MVP. Bump it.
Put some respect.
Put some spec on my boy name. Joel Embiid's my MVP. I changed my mind. I had to pick some African. It's gonna be Embiid.
All right, let's wrap up our show with our fun segment. Since the All-Star game is going to tell you who the starters are next week, we're going to give you our predictions on who they should be. I pretty much think we've got the same lineup, to be honest with you. Maybe one or two.
I'll let you go. I'll let you give you do East Coast and then West Coast. So I'll let you do East Coast and then I'll do East Coast and then West Coast and then I'll do West Coast.
Okay, so my East Coast front court is, and hear me out, my last one. Kevin Durant.
Like, whoa, you better not say no RJ Barry, better not say no Julius Randle. I don't want to hear none of that.
No Nick made my shit. Okay. No Nick.
Because I was gonna have to turn this shit off.
No, bro, I'm a realist. Come on, man. I'm a realist. I'm happy the way they play, but they didn't make the cut.
All right.
Okay, so Kevin Durant, Giannis, and Joel for my front court. If Kevin can't play, Jason Tatum is subbing for the front court.
Well, he's gonna get the vote. He's because the vote. Yeah, he's gonna get the vote still. So I do believe that. But okay.
If he can't play, Jason Tatum starting, he gets that pity start like he did last year too. So, and then my guards are going to be DeRozan, and the last one was like really iffy for me. Like I didn't know who to pick, but I guess I got to go Trae Young on it as my other guard.
Okay. Durant will get the vote, so I'll just put him as the guy. And then Giannis and Joel Embiid will be the other two for sure. I wanted to put, it has to be Tatum. It has to be Tatum as the what do you call it? The substitute or fill-in or whatever it is, alternate. And then guards, DeRozan. I feel like Zach LaVine's not getting enough love to be honest with you.
Zach LaVine is like he's good, but he's just I don't know something about Zach LaVine.
I think I think it's gonna very well be James Harden that gets that other vote. So I'll go with James Harden as my other guy because
that was who I wanted to put, but like James just didn't cut it for me.
Yeah, if it was my choice, I'll go DeRozan and Zach LaVine.
Okay,
give me both of the Bulls, and then I'll go Giannis and B and KD, and then Tatum as the alternate to them because KD is not going to be able to play more than likely.
All right, my West front court, I got LeBron, Jokic. And this was another hard one for me because I didn't want to put him there. But I really went down. I was like, really? Andrew Wiggins has the third vote here out of everybody? That's just coming down. I'm going Paul George as my third.
Paul George going to be hurt. Andrew Wiggins, because that's just the fan vote, right? Doesn't like the coaches get some, like the rest of the votes too at the end or the media or something like that?
Something like that.
All right, LeBron for sure. Like that's shoe-in. Jokic for sure. That's a shoe-in. So then you got to look at Paul George, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, Anthony Davis. To me, none of them deserve it to be a starter.
Nope.
Karl Anthony Towns doesn't have enough votes.
Yeah.
So to me, he deserves it more than all of them. If I had to pick one, Rudy Gobert, like why is he?
That's what I wanted to say.
He got bodied by Stanley Johnson. I don't know. That was tough. I don't know. Are we going off what we think should happen, or what we would like to happen?
I'm going by what we think. If it were me, my front court is LeBron, Jokic, and Rudy Gobert. That's my three.
I put DeAndre. No, I put Karl Anthony Towns over all of them. I think Cat is back and he's having a good year. If that was how I would do it. But because it's not how I want to do it, Paul George will probably get it. But he's hurt too. Like he's not going to be playing for the next couple of weeks. So I don't know what's going to happen there. And then Andrew Wiggins, stop it. If I ever see Andrew Wiggins in an All-Star game, I'm going to be pissed off because he's not that guy. I don't care what anybody tells me. He's not that guy. So LeBron, Jokic, and what I would want is Cat. Anthony Davis don't deserve to be there. So I'll put Cat. Personally, if it was me, I'll put in Cat. This is my All-Star game. I'll put in Cat.
Guards. Steph Curry for sure. And it gets hard here, but I'm just going with his surge and his play right now. I'm going Ja Morant.
Yeah, I'm doing the same. Like I think right now Luka's ahead of him probably, or Ja. I don't know who's ahead, but I'm going John.
I think John's ahead.
Right, let's keep it that way. I'll give me John, give me Steph. So we pretty much got the same. Except I want Karl Anthony Towns over Rudy for sure.
I would want Karl Anthony Towns too, but I just feel like Karl Anthony Towns is just like up and down and up and down.
I just saw what Stanley Johnson did to Rudy Gobert, and then Russell Westbrook just yammed it on him. Rudy Gobert is the softest defensive player of the year I've ever seen in my entire life. Ever in my life. Like, ever. Stanley Johnson should not be bodying him like that, bro.
But he's also foreign, and he gets big time plays, man.
Right.
Big time plays. You're gonna dunk on that man. Like he's
fake tough. He's fake tough. Give me Cat. Yeah, give me Cat.
Cat saw too. Cat got called out by Jimmy Butler in practice.
Yo, I hate fan votes sometimes because Andrew Wiggins is on this list. Clay just came back. He on this list. Kyrie just came back. He on this list. Anthony Davis trash this year. He's on this list. Like, I don't. Derrick Rose, no offense, he's on this list. Why? Darius Garland has been better than half the guards in the East Conference. He should be on the team.
The coaching gets to pick the rest of it.
Yeah,
so that's
exactly. So Damian Lillard, I haven't seen him play in a while. Chris Paul should be an all-star this year. I mean, I don't know. This is gonna be a weird year of picking. Like when it comes to like the bench players, it's gonna be a weird year. But
yeah, I'm curious to see the subs, man. Hopefully they get this right when they put those guys out there. So,
but as long as Ja Morant's a starter, I'll be okay. As long as Ja Morant is a starter, that's my guy. As long as he's a starter. Oh, but what about Devin Booker? Damn. Yeah. As long as Ja Morant's a starter.
yeah. So
why not Devin Booker?
I like him. Alternate. Fuck it.
I mean, they got the number 1 seed. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Bro, he just dropped 49 or some shit the other night, bro. Like, I don't know. Hey.
Price is right guy up the mountain right now, bro. Man. I'm not bad with Book. I'm not mad with Book, Luka, or Morant taking the starting spot. So I'm okay with it. Or if they put Book shooting a small forward, I'd be okay with that. Won't bother me, but he's a shooting guard.
Yeah, all right, whatever. Hey, shout out to old man LeBron though.
Man gets it done. Let's wrap up the show. You can find us on Twitter at @fair_weather_pod, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, the Fairweather Podcast. Just search that, and wherever you subscribe to podcasts, we're there as well. Joel
Embiid is a dog. LeBron James is.
I've told you I've always been a fan. So
hey, I'm proud. I'm proud because I was team Ben Simmons before because Joel Embiid ate too many cheeseburgers, but he's on his vegan shit this year, maybe. I don't know, but that paleo diet is working for him because he's balling. Shout out to the Eagles. Shout out to the Jets. We fair weather for life, and the Cowboys ain't them boys ever.
It just feels good. It feels good.
Feels real good. Peace.